Welcome back to the Moose Pit Studios. If you're back, that means you listen to another sound check. For those of you who don't know, we do this twice a week, once on Tuesday, once on Thursday. It's a 2-hour show. We squeeze in about 15 bands. We listen to the music. We tell you what we think about it. You get to make your choice. And then you get to text in the band that you think was the best. On the Soundcheck line, it's 424-666-7356. My name is Moose. I've had some people ask, hey, Moose, are you going to play some of the bands that were on the Metal Moose show? And yeah, that was one of them right there. $1 Billion Band, bad ass. I don't even have to talk about if I like this or not, because everything they do is amazing. A great band. 90% of the music that I'm going to play on this show is going to be stuff that I've never heard before. Now, when we have a band that was on the Metal Moose show, I probably heard it. So, but what do I need to say about $1 Billion Man? If you listen to that, if you're not overwhelmed by how awesome that was, probably time to get the old ears checked, because they are effing awesome. So yeah, man, this is the sound check. Coming up next, we got a band called Cage. I think there are probably 50 metal bands named Cage that have come. But anyway, just to describe $1 Billion Man, it's awesome. There's no need to get into a review. It's like everything you want in metal. There's no like melodic power metal vocal or symphonic organry going on, but it's as metal as you can get, and they're awesome. And I won't stop saying that. So listen, this is coming to you from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, wherever you're at. Thank you for listening. Make sure to go find us on SoundCloud or iTunes, on YouTube, Spreaker, wherever you want to go, Stitcher as well. Find us and like us and follow us, because we do this twice a week. So it's a good way to find about 20 to 30 new bands. And we're going to tell you what we think about them. And then, like I said, you have the chance to vote in by text, which, probably cost you nothing except for about 3 seconds. And if you're too busy to text about, your metal, I understand, we all got things to do, priorities, but, this show's about metal and support and rocking it. So we want you to get involved. That's part of it. If you know of a band that you think should be on the show, let us know. Later on in the show, we're going to give away something called the Metalhead Box. If you've never heard of the Metalhead Box, you need to check them out on Facebook, the Metalhead Box. It's a cool thing. It comes with a bunch of metal stuff in it, and they send it right to your door, and you can subscribe just like a magazine, and it's awesome. And I am subscribed, and I've got a bunch of cool stuff, and I told them I wanted to give one away, so they sent me one to give away to you guys. Coming up right now on Soundcheck is a band called Cage. Like I said, we'll see. Here we go.
Loose with the Moose.
Join us tonight and prepare for battle.
It was Cage on the soundcheck. My biggest complaint, guys, is if you could just put a little bit of excitement in your music. I mean, play it like you mean it. Bring on some, energy. Whew, Jesus Christ, that wore me out. Man, wow. What do you say about that whirlwind of metal? That was like all kinds of metal wrapped up into one. That was like speed metal, thrash metal, power metal. Wow. Okay, so what do I think about that? Like, I don't know if I could listen to that very often because I would, my chi is just on fire. I just want to go kill things on a horse and be a, knight or something. It is really good. And there's absolutely no way you could, like, I'll go back to my deal. What if I saw that band in a bar? I would go, oh my God, what are these guys doing here? That was insane. Is it something that I would put on my personal iPod to listen to, probably a song or two, because I'd have to chill out with, I'd have to chill out with some like Dillinger Escape Plan to calm down. Whew, good Lord. Wow, those guys they're excited about metal. Man, they're into it. So I would wear the t-shirt. I think, those guys obviously, it's go hard or go home, no doubt. So that was pretty awesome. I would definitely wear your shirt, Cage. If you want to send me a shirt, by the way, that's how I rate the bands on this show, whether or not I would wear their shirt in public or not. I mean, because I think if you wear a shirt in public, you actually should like the band and not just the image or, not saying anything, Korn fans or Slipknot. Did I say that? Anyway, so yeah. I would wear that shirt, and I would proudly say that I enjoy the Cage when I'm in the mood to like run around in whirlwind speeds in my living room and just thrash air guitar like crazy. That was awesome. I want to see them live, because if they can do that live, it's a whole different like special talent. Whew, man, that was terrifying. That was like, I'm thinking, if I played this to somebody who wasn't into metal, they would probably run away. But it was awesome. It was awesome, terrifying. So listen, if you're new to the show, my name is Moose. I am in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, in the Moose Pit Studios. And I've been on the air for, 3+ years doing another show called the Metal Moose Radio Show, which is more of a comedy kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. I got tired of doing the whole, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I wanted to do something different. So every band that I got that sent music into the Metal Moose Radio Show, they always asked, what did you think about the music, man? And I always wrote back, it's not about what I think, it doesn't matter. Well, finally I said, okay, you know what? They want to know, I'm going to tell them. All the record labels, all the indie labels, all the management companies, they all want reviews. Hey, man, review this for me. Review, okay. All right, well, I'll do it. I'll review it on the show. So that's what you got now. You got me and metal and me telling you what I think about it. Sometimes I get real in depth. Sometimes I get goofy. Like, I don't even know what to say about Cage other than holy hell. It was a tornado of metal. The production was great. The songwriting, I don't know how you write a song like that. Do you just snort 74 lines of coke and pick up a guitar? Wow. Anyway, so like I said, I try to have fun with you guys. And by the way, you also get your choice of what you think your favorite band was. I'm going to pick my favorite band at the end of the show. I'm going to pick my favorite band, and then I'm going to go on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere, and I'm going to say, this is my favorite band of the week on this show. And then you guys get to do the same thing. And then on the next show, I'm going to say, hey, the listeners liked blah, blah, blah band. And you do that by texting 424-666-7356. If you're into the show and you like it, you can always go to www.themetalmoose.com. That has a link to iTunes and YouTube and all that stuff, so you can listen to more of the shows. Like if you're a true metalhead and you just want to find new music all the time, this is the way you do it and have a good time with it. So anyway, yeah, man. Also, you can find Soundcheck on Facebook. Just put in Soundcheck, and we're the one with the little road case that has a moose on it and says Soundcheck. That's the one we are. Yeah. So, and here's the deal with the Soundcheck thing. I haven't really invited any people to do it. I just kind of wanted to change things up and see how it grew on its own. The show itself is doing awesome. And so we're going to let the Soundcheck Facebook page kind of grow on its own. Just see how it does. Coming up, actually, we got a band called Continental, which I think is a moving service. But the song is called Shaped Winds. I'm going to go with power metal is going to be my guess. We do that too. We guess what they're going to sound like by their name. So I'm going power metal with Continental. This is the Moose's Soundcheck. Thanks for being here, and put your pants back on, please.
Show your rack, Cheetos, and rubber chickens. The Moose rocks New York.
It's got to be some sort of a joke out there to people that I'm always wrong when I pick, and I'm like, okay, this has got to be this kind of music because of the name, and I was so totally wrong. Continental, I said, that's got to be power metal, shaped words, it just sounds power metal. Anyway, I was 100% wrong. So I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I love when guitar players realize that there's like actually knobs on their amp and they can make their guitar sound different, and the guitar players in Continental do a good job of that. The tone is awesome. They also made their guitar parts interesting, and I love when a melody is carried behind the main riff with another melody. I really liked it. They created emotion with the guitars, which I think is super cool. I absolutely loved that. I don't know if that was a guy or a girl singer. It sounded a little bit like a girl, but there was good passion in that vocal. Now, a lot of people are just going to hear screaming, but I liked it. Continental, I'm a fan. I will go back and listen to more of that, which is, if you listen to the show, that's a compliment. I'm going to go back and listen to more of that. Really, really good. So, yeah, please send me a shirt, man. I would love to tell people about that band. Really damn good. Once again, Moose here with you, drinking cherry Kool-Aid and hanging out in the studio and doing the sound check. I love doing this, and it's really, Michael, one of the reasons I wanted to change formats and do this, not only because I love to review music and talk about it, because I wanted to get people more involved. I wanted people to engage with the show more. We had engagement with the Metal Moose Radio Show, but I want more. I want people to share this. I want people to text in. I want people to write in emails, tell us where you listen to the show from, and just become part of what we do, man. And I always say we. It's really kind of just me. Be part of what I do. And, I'm like your merchant for metal. You're going to get new metal with me twice a week, and we're going to promote it, and I get to promote it with your help. If you're telling people in the bands that are on the show, we're telling their fans, man, we were on the sound check, that Moose guy played us, that's cool. We want you to be part of that. So coming up next is a band called Create Rapid Massacre, which I'm going to guess grind, just throwing that out there. Never on Cooldown. It's a bunch of music today. Today's show ought to be called like music that makes Moose want to kill people, because so far it's just been really fast and angry music, and still recovering from strep throat, so bear with me a little bit. Create Rapid Massacre. This is probably like my grandma's favorite band. She probably sent this in. Anyway, yeah, Never on Cooldown on the sound check right here.
The Moose Rocks Texas.
Generally speaking, you're free till you're about 4 years old. You lose what individualism you had if you have enough before you retain some of it. The most unhappiness walk with it again. Walk with it again.
Create, Rapid Massacre here on Soundcheck. So, I'm listening to the tune, and if you can picture this in your head, this is actually how it works. I'm sitting here with my headphones on, because I think headphones are the best way to jam music. You get to hear all the details. I was like, they have got to do something really quick to make this interesting, because the guttural death just gets boring after a while, and I thought they've got to do something to make themselves stand out a little bit. And they did. They went to the musical interlude, which in my opinion was not long enough, and there needs to be more of that in your stuff. And maybe there is on the album itself. We always just do one song here, so I might go back and check them out. Anybody that doesn't think that the musicians in grind slam bands are not talented or crazy, because they're usually disgustingly sick musicians. That was so. I loved the musical interlude when you guys started showing what you can do with your music besides. I liked it. I'd wear the shirt. I think you've got definite potential, but I think you need to throw more of your music is definitely your strong point. The vocal part is just, it's kind of boring. There's a lot of it out there. So if you'll mix it up a little bit, I think that you got something going there. So yeah, Create, Rapid Massacre on the Soundcheck. Pretty good, man. I'd wear the shirt. I would do it. Coming up next is Dijon Doe Dies. Dijon Doe Dies. Anti-Hope Synthesis, which sounds like it's probably going to be a song about enlightenment and happiness and how positive thoughts will make your day a better thing, is what I'm guessing, just by the name of the song, Anti-Hope Synthesis. So anyway, so one of the things I really also want to talk about is the need and relativity of different kinds of music on the show. We play a lot of metal, but you're going to hear some rock and roll. You're going to hear some southern rock. You're going to hear some different, even like we played the Sisters of the Adversary on the last show, this experimental keyboard Depeche Mode kind of industrial rock. You're going to hear a bunch of different music. So it just depends on what people send us. So we'll sound check almost anything. I'm not really interested in sound checking any country or rap. That's just not the audience I'm shooting for. But anyway, yeah, so you're going to hear some different music. So if you're getting tired of it, you're like, man, this is just all metal. Wait around. We got all kinds of stuff, as well as a chance to win your Metalhead box. Like I said, if you haven't heard of the Metalhead box, go to Facebook and look up the Metalhead box. It's the coolest company ever, and I subscribe to it immediately because I think it's awesome. You get a box full with shirts and CDs and stickers and coffee mugs and comic books that are about metal. Everything is metal inside of it, and they're from Canada. Canada is the kingdom of metal. That's my decree. I declare Canada greatest metal country on the planet. So that's just me, but they're metal. So yeah, coming up next, Dijon Doe Dies with the Anti-Hope Synthesis. I'm interested in this one. I'm interested just by the name, because it's not your typical name of a band. So maybe it's just one dude named Dijon Doe. Possibly. I don't know. Here we go. Check it out.
Just joined the Moose Crew. You've just joined the Moose Crew.
All right, so Degent John Doe dies. Here's my deal with that. So amazing, beautiful, fantastic music. It's one of those genres of metal that boggles. I play guitar. I'm a musician. I get it. This whole gent, whatever they call it, degent, whatever thing is it's a fascinating realm. But let me tell you, my issue with it is that, and it's, if you're gonna play an 8-string guitar, do a guitar solo. You know what I mean? If you want to play in C flat or whatever, that's fine. In G, whatever you want to play in, breakdowns at some point get even, Meshuggah has been doing this a long time. So do us a favor and play a guitar solo in there. That was awesome. That was an awesome track. But you know how much more awesome it would have been if somebody would have been in the background just beautiful. It's kind of insulting to me almost that you want to put an instrument around your neck with 8 strings on it and you're using the top 4 and that's it. So I like it. I would wear the shirt. I think that you would be hugely successful. There's a lot of that's the new thing with the kids out there, that degent, whatever the hell it's called. So I like it. It's extreme. It is bludgeoning. It's got a story to tell, but here's the night. Just throw some melody in there, man. A guitar solo, please. Anyway, so yeah, I'd wear the, could you guys change your name maybe? But, anyway, yeah, so I like it. I'd wear the shirt. Very, very, super. You know what? That's one thing I'll give to the degent community is you very rarely hear poorly produced tracks because these are smart musicians and they know how they, anyway, yeah, so overproduced, to be honest with you. That was super slick. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to move on. Not going to be my pick of the week. I'll just throw that out there. But, really good. Okay, Fallen Fortress. I hope this is some doom. I need a little bit of calm down music. Jesus, man, I'm just like cramping from my body, and all the music that's been played so far has just been like, and it kind of hurts. I'm not young enough to do this anymore. It hurts my back. So yeah, Fallen Fortress. I'm going for some doom. It sounds like a doomy kind of name, and that makes me happy because I love some doom. And it's right here on the Soundcheck where we tell you what we think, and you can tell us what you think back. 424-666-7356. Looking forward to your text. Fallen Fortress.
The Moose rocks Chicago.
Hi, I'm Al.
And I'm Mike
From Infrared. And you're listening to
the Moose.
All right, so what was that, Fallen Fortress? I'm sorry, I forgot the name. That guy made that moose noise, and I lost it. Yeah, Fallen Fortress. So here's the deal. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. It is cookie cutter. It is a well-placed together cookie cutter of what's popular right now. You're good at it. The production was good. You'll probably have massive success wherever you are. There's 10,000 bands doing what you're doing. Good luck on making yourself, different from the crowd. I think that people will love that. I personally am not overly impressed by it. It just sounds like everybody else to me. And so, you're good musicians. That's obvious. And you've got a hold of the capability of, making it sound, I don't know the word, like what people dig. So I'm sure you'll do okay. But to me, it was just, just did nothing for me. So just, I feel like I could turn on, the local hard rock station and hear that. And sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes that's a bad thing. For you guys, it's a bad thing. There was nothing at all that made that stand out to me from a lot of bands doing the same stuff. So anyway, yeah. So not so much for me, guys, but we appreciate the opportunity to play for people, because there's a bunch of people out there who just listened to that and went, "Oh yeah, man, these guys are awesome, man." Yes. So you just gained some new fans. I just am not one of them. Okay, so next, this band is called From Nowhere, which is, I think, a killer name. Interesting. And the song is called Right to Die, which I don't know if that's a political statement or they're just unhappy with Donald Trump, or what. But I like the name. I'm not even going to try to guess. I would guess it's kind of a post-rock kind of a deal if I'm guessing. My name is Moose. This is the Soundcheck. Thanks for being here, listening with us, and putting up with my silliness as we go through this metal. It's a metal barrage. So far has been extremely... I need a break, man. This music so far has just been super insane. Anyway, so From Nowhere, hoping they're going to give me a break and then I can calm down a little bit, because I need a Xanax after those first few tunes. Anyway, From Nowhere, Right to Die, right here on the Soundcheck.
The Moose rocks Canada.
All right, so kind of the same as the last band. From nowhere, it's there's a lot of Lamb of God stuff going on there. Thrash, just kind of. If I saw that's they're in the bar band category to me. They sound like somebody you see playing at a bar, and it's good. It has its purpose. But to me, it's not anything there that's going to make me go, whoa, I need to pick that CD up, because I don't know that I could listen to 10 songs of that. They would have to get really experimental and do some interesting things. And to me, there's not a lot of interesting stuff. I will say that I think that the guitar players took the time to try to make it interesting. The music was well written. It wasn't boring, but it just. For me, I'm going to go, I would tell people to go see you in concert, but I don't know that I want to put you on my shirt and walk around and say, this band is awesome, because it's just okay for me. And it looks like I'm not going to get a break. This has been the most brutal, heavy show so far we've done. Wow. Good Lord. So yeah, that was quite terrifying, but boring. And I need something. I need a band to show up really quick to cool things down, because man, I'm about to pass out. I'm going to have a brain hemorrhage. So the next band sounds like a band that's going to be slow and calming, is Iconoclast. So I'm sure I've got a good luck with that being cooler. My name is Moose, coming to you from the Moose Pit Studios in Oklahoma City. Text in your favorite band or what you think. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me you agree. Whatever you want to do. Just text in and get involved. 424-666-7356. I promise we're not going to... that's not a personal number. It's just a number for the show. I'm not going to pick up. It's just going to be... it's mainly just a text line. I can call you from that number, but I don't. It's just something we use for the show. The number's in Los Angeles. It's not even an Oklahoma number, so relax. Don't worry. We're not going to come force metal down your throat or anything. It's just a number that we let people get involved with the show. So hanging out here on a Thursday afternoon. It's about 2 o'clock Central Time. Doing some radio, listening to some metal, hoping like hell that a band is going to play a song pretty soon that is not 800 miles an hour and just angry as hell. I don't listen to the songs before the show, so I put the songs in here and I'll listen as we go, roll along, just like you were. If you were, listening to the show, I'm hearing it just like you hear it, except for I have the opportunity to turn it off if I don't like it, which you do too, but then you might miss out on some killer bands later. So don't do that. Don't turn it off. Let's have fun. And, let's order some tacos and bust open a 12-pack. It's metal, man. It's metal. It's tacos and bacon and some Cheetos. That's what we do on the Soundcheck. So Iconoclast, I'm sure this one's going to be, like I said, probably a smooth love song. I'm guessing not at all. I need one right now, please.
Get loose with the moose.
So that calming little medley by Iconoclast. So here's the deal. When I hear, and this has been going on for years, my deal with that kind of blackened death punk mix thing is I just want to say pick what you want to be and do it. There's just so many things going on, and like for 0.4 seconds it's an awesome metal riff, and then 0.2 seconds you get that punk, and then it just I don't know what the hell it is, and that bothers me personally. I don't it's unfocused to me, and maybe that's the point of it. Maybe it's supposed to be chaotic, and I get that it's metal. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like, that band in a bar. Just watch us be metal, and we've got mohawks and spikes, and here we go. It has that, and I don't know, maybe this is Napalm Death's fault, or maybe even on the other extreme, like System of a Down. It's got that rhythm and that feel of that political theme. I don't even know what the words were, but I just got that we're chanting for a purpose kind of thing out of it. Just, man, I don't care. So for me, no, it was too much to think about, and I can't put my finger on what the hell they want to be. And I guess if that's what they are all the time, that's cool, but that's not something I'm going to be into listening to a lot, because I don't know. Me personally, I'm past that point of a blue mohawk and, wearing a rigor mortis patch on my back. I'm interested in music at this point in time. So anyway, yeah, for me, that's a no with the Iconoclast. Please don't hunt me down and kill me, because I'm sure you're all big, mean, crazy people. But yeah, so that's a no. By the way, if I didn't mention it to you earlier, which I know that I did, we're giving away a Metalhead box on this show today. We're going to tell you how to win that later in the show, so I'm going to make you stick around to listen. But if you have any brains at all, it's a podcast, and you can fast forward it and find out. If that's why you're here listening to the show, I'm going to make you fast forward to the very end. So, yeah, anyway, coming up next is a band called Le Futre, something along the lines of Lefutray, Le Futre. Very fancy. Don't know what to expect out of that. The song is called Agreement of Suffering, which also sounds like a ballad. I'm telling you, man, my back is like in knots. This music has just made me crazy so far. I'm like, oh my God. It's metal. It's metal as hell. So this is the Soundcheck, and sometimes you get a show like this. It's just crazy. But we play to a metal crowd. So it's about metal, and it's very metal today. So yeah. Would love to hear what you think. You can always go to the website at www.themetalmoose.com. Find us on Facebook. Just put in the word Soundcheck, and then pick the little road case that has a moose and the word Soundcheck on it. That's us. Come join and, tell us what you think about the show. Tell us where you're at. I know we're on a bunch of radio stations like Crave Radio in Dallas and Boston Rocks Radio on, crazily in Boston. We're on a bunch of radio, IXR, a bunch of them, over 50 out there playing this. So out of their minds, but they let me have the airspace, and I do it. So we have a good time, and there's a lot of people that dig it, and I dig it, and I dig you guys, and I like the fact that you put your pants back on when I told you to. It's probably okay to take them back off now at this point, but we're going to put them back on later. So just don't get too comfortable. Just keep the wife beater on at all costs, because it's a metal show, right? I don't wear them, but it sounded like a fun little cliche to throw in there. This is the Moose. This is Soundcheck. Here is Le Futre. Right? I don't know.
Get loose with the Moose.
Yo, son, yo.
Lefutre. I don't know what Lefutre, whatever your name is. Anyway, so here's the deal. Immediately I was bored to death. You got the double kick, you get the whole groove swirl going on, big pit of white guys moshing, kind of snooze fest. But when you went into the midsection and you started showing that you could actually have some creativity with what you were doing, I started liking it. I loved the outro. The guitar solo was fantastic, blues laden, which I really dig that in a thrashy tune, that bluesy. And I'm not really a blues fan, but I love that just wah pedal screech. So I would wear the shirt. I would say that was your probably average to a little above average beer metal is what I call that whole Texas groove kind of a deal. It was okay. I think that it's been rehashed multiple times, but it was good. It was fun. It was a good time. If I saw that at a bar, I would say these guys probably deserve to be somewhere bigger than a bar. So yeah, man, I like it. I would wear your shirt. If you guys want to send a shirt, send it on over. And if you're interested in how to get a shirt to me, just contact me on Facebook or text the Soundcheck line at 424-666-7356. Bands actually do send me shirts. I have some. I need to take pictures with them, but yeah, Death is a Navigator, and there's a bunch of them in there. I'm way behind. We'll get there eventually. But thanks for sending the shirts. And speaking of shirts, today I'm wearing my Ghoul shirt, which I got out of the latest edition of the Metalhead box. If you don't know what the Metalhead box is, and they're not paying me to tell you guys this, I wish I could say that they were. But they're not. It's just one of the coolest things ever. And I wrote them and I said, I need to know more about this, and I want to talk about you on my radio show. So I'm subscribed to the Metalhead box, and I get their box every month. And they said, I'll tell you what, we'll send you one to give away. So here's the deal. Not only are you going to get a Metalhead box, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to throw in some Moose stuff as well. A Moose t-shirt and some stickers and some guitar picks and some random maybe CDs I have laying around. So you're going to get a Metalhead box plus. So it's pretty cool. You're going to get some cool shirts and CDs and stickers, a comic book, a coffee mug. It's really cool. It's kick-ass. So you're going to want it, trust me, and you're going to win it for free by listening to the Soundcheck. And I can't do that every month unless they want to send me one every month. Then I could. Here's what's going to happen, though. If they do that, I'm going to have them ship it because I can't afford to ship these things. They're too big. And I know my luck. Somebody in Tokyo is going to win it. So I'm going to have to ship it to Tokyo. It's going to cost me $380. I can't do that. So anyway, yeah. So we're going to go with a continental United States, maybe Canada, if you're really kind, winner of this. So I can't afford to sell my car to ship you a CD. Anyway, yeah, so we do have Moose t-shirts if you want one. Make sure and get a hold of us for that as well. For all the Canadians out there, we have one that's got a skull and crossbones made out of bacon because we love bacon. Yeah, so Canadians love bacon too. It's the Moose's Soundcheck. I don't even know who's next. That's how I'm behind in a lot. Oh, Liv Sin. I have no idea what this sounds like, but she is a beautiful, beautiful young lady. The cover is fantastic, but I'm just going to say this. Sometimes that is a bad thing and usually turns me off of the music. So we'll find out what happens right here on Soundcheck.
Get loose with the Moose.
Let me out! Let me out!
Okay, so Liv Sin, I was saying before the song that sometimes that super hot chick turns me off. I'm like, if you want to be a stripper, be a stripper. You want to be in Playboy, show your boobs, whatever, that's fine. That's great. God loves boobs, that I'm a male. I get it. But sometimes when you get that CD and you're like, oh, great, they're selling the hot chick. It's going to be garbage. And, but I'm telling you right now, in an hour and 17 minutes into the show, that so far is my pick of the week. That was a damn good song, very Halloween influenced. Love the riff. The chorus had balls. It was meaningful. It was metal. The vocal performance was right on. The production was slick. I liked it. Yeah, I'd wear that shirt. Damn good. Damn good. So that right now is my top pick right now. So we'll see what happens. We've got some more bands on the way. This next band we actually played on the Metal Moose Radio Show, and I think it may be one of the goofiest ass names I've ever heard. My Wooden Pillow. I don't understand that. I don't remember their music either, so I have no prejudgment. But I know that I think they're proggy, and prog is sometimes fun if you can deal with it. There's only so much prog I can deal with that. My brain works too much for that. So, but we'll find out. I wonder if they've ever contacted Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, and said, "Hey, we'd like to do your theme song." Just a business opportunity, guys. If you want to take some advice from me, he does all of his manufacturing in Michigan. So, just a thought. If you're a Made in the USA kind of band, that's. Anyway, so Liv Sin, awesome, fantastic. My Wooden Pillow with a song called Call for War, which this sounds relaxing. One of these, I'm going to hit a song here that's a little bit relaxing eventually. It hasn't happened yet, but yeah. So it's the Metal Moose and My Wooden Pillow and Mike Lindell. My Pillow. Buy one, get one 30% off. He changed that after he got in trouble with the Better Business Bureau. It was buy one, get one free. And then we found out that he was a liar. You bastard. How can you be the official pillow of the Sleep Foundation? How?
Show your rack, Cheetos, and rubber chickens.
Everybody stand, come close to close, this is call for war. Everybody stand, come close to close, this is call for war. Everybody stand, come close to close, this is call for war. Everybody stand, come close to close, this is call for war. Everybody stand, come close to close, this is call for war. Everybody stand, come close to close, this is call for war. Everybody stand, come close to close, this is call for war. Everybody stand, come close to close, this is call for war.
Hi, I'm Al.
And I'm Mike
From Infrared. And you're listening to
the Moose.
Okay, so My Wooden Pillow. Wow, man, that was really interesting, and that is a good thing. It kept my interest. I like it. The rhythm of the tune was awesome. I like what's going on there. So I would wear that shirt. It was interesting. So that's the coolest thing about it, is it kept my attention. You got a lot of good stuff going on there. The female vocal is almost pop laden, and that could gather you some different fans as opposed to the death growly stuff you got going on there. It also just the rhythmical aspect of it. You could get maybe even some hip hop interest, which don't be taken away by that, because it's cool. It's good to have different rhythm patterns. I really liked it. I might need to go back and listen to more of what you guys have going on, which is a good thing. That was cool, man. That was like, if I saw that at a bar once again, I'd be like, whoa, this is way too good to be in a bar. So yeah, really liked it. And I still think you should get a hold of Mike Lindell. Write up a real poppy tune and send it over to him. You might get yourself a contract, and some free pillows. When you're on the road, you're going to need a pillow. Trust me. So anyway, yeah, that's, I would wear the shirt, and you should contact Mike Lindell. That's the Soundcheck opinion of My Wooden Pillow. Coming up next, we got a band called Negotiated Silence, which that's kind of a deep name, man. Let's negotiate this and being silent together. Is that like prayer, or is it just people holding guns at each other, daring the other one to talk? I don't know. It's kind of a bothersome, little deep. And the song is called Why. It gets more deep. It's this kind of an emotional moment for me right now. I don't know how to take this. Where have we gone? I have become death, the destroyer of worlds. What's happening? Anyway, so with Negotiated Silence, you do have to deal with me when you listen to this show sometimes, but thank God it's a podcast. You can fast forward past me. I have these moments where I just kind of think about things, and then I say it's negotiated silence. And why? Why would we negotiate the silence when we could listen to metal and eat bacon? Why? We're going to find out right here on the Soundcheck. Make sure and text in your favorite band on the show by texting 424-666-7356. And the band that gets the most text, we'll talk about them and let everybody know who the winner was on the next show. It's kind of how it works. But right now, we're going to negotiate some silence. And then we're going to ask each other, why is this happening? Why is this on the Soundcheck? So we can listen to metal and eat bacon.
loose with the moose.
Well, I promised you earlier in the show we have different, excuse me, the whole strep throat thing here. Different kinds of music. It's not all just brutal death slam. So Negotiated Silence, it's a little whiny for me. It was kind of blue-haired teenage kid, sad about his girlfriend breaking up, kind of emo-y. You slit your wrist, now I'm gonna whine, and now. I can't wear that shirt. Sorry. It just doesn't work for me. I mean, like, I dig what you got going on. I mean, I kind of like that whole, but there's too much of it, man. It's just like you can ruin a good stack of pancakes with too much syrup, and now there's way too much whiny eyeliner, goth sadness, teenage sadness and angst, and I'm verklempt. Give me just a minute here. No, for me. So this band, somebody texted me when I posted the bands we were going to play on the show, and they said, well, I've never heard this band, so I'm going to vote for them. So this band actually already has a vote. They're called Ratzinger, which, I don't know how many are listening from the United States, but there's a dessert cake, like a little cake thing called a zinger, and this makes me think of a zinger that's made out of rats, which is kind of disgusting. But Ratzinger, and the song is called Make, which is the same word twice. And yeah, that's kind of interesting. So we're going to check them out and tell you what we think. My name is Moose. This is Soundcheck coming to you from the Moose Pit in Oklahoma City. And we're giving away a Metalhead box, and we're rocking out some metal tunes with you, telling you what we think, giving you the review right here on the show. You don't have to go read a blog, yada, 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 read a magazine. We're just going to play the song. I'm going to tell you what I think right here, right now. And it's a very gut instinct kind of a deal because I've never heard these tunes before. So I'm playing them. And I'm going, okay, here's what I think about that. So sometimes there's some really good ones, and there's been some good ones on this show, and there's been some stinkers too. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to name any names or anything, but the last band we played was kind of a stinker. Anyway, yeah, for me, it was... they said slit your wrist, and then they whined a bunch, and not for me. No thanks. Now listen, there's a bunch of high school kids out there who are probably going to love that, and there's probably going to be some kids writing, how they're going to fight the world to love each other in their eyeliner and mascara pins on, whatever, carving their initials into trees, listening to that, but not for me. Not really working for me. So anyway, yeah. So that's my opinion on that. Coming up, Ratzinger, right here on the Soundcheck. I want to thank everybody once again who are listening to the show. I appreciate it. Each show kind of gets bigger and more people listen, and we're going to make it a thing. It's a thing, man. It's a thing where you send in your music and you get sound checked. And I'm going to give reviews on signed bands, unsigned bands. Most of this stuff is unsigned at the moment, so some of it's unsigned, some of it's not, and it doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you what I think anyway, and we're going to enjoy it, and we're not going to let each other go ever.
This is the Great Cat Metal Messiah on Metal Moose Radio. Shred on!
Rat Zinger on the Soundcheck. So, does anybody else feel like we just got, like, you were at a South American bar mitzvah and we just celebrated, somebody becoming a man, or some sort of historical event? That was kind of like, I felt like I was at a tribal kind of a deal. So the song, the drum pattern alone is enough to like listen to the song over and over again, because that was some phenomenal drum work and well thought out, cool, different pattern. I mean, overall, it was okay. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but rhythmically, it was super exciting. So, I kind of like the patterns, and I think that there's stuff to work with there. But I'll be honest with you and tell you that it's really difficult for me to listen to music in other languages. It just is. So, immediately it was kind of tough for me. I was like, I don't know what he's saying. I don't, so, but the percussion work was slick enough to keep me interested for a while. But I like that it moved around a lot. There was some different things going on, but I don't know if I would wear that. I don't know if I am jungle enough to wear that. I mean, that was like some serious tribal stuff going on there. There was probably some religious stuff going on there I don't know about. And so I'm not sure that I could dedicate myself to wear that shirt. Your drummer's awesome. But it was a little, it was too uncomfortable for me to be able to sit back and go, yeah, man. I was like, I don't know what he's doing on the drums. That's really good. But the rest of it just, it's okay. Not bad. This next one, just when I saw the name, I was like, I don't even care what kind of music this is. I've got to put it on my show. They're called the Winged Seahorses, okay? The Winged Seahorses. How do you tell somebody that's your band name? Hey, man, so you're in a band? Yeah, dude, I'm in the Winged Seahorses, bro. Yeah, we're seahorses with wings, right? It's yeah. So I don't even care. I don't even know what kind of music this is. I don't even know how to guess what the hell this is. But the song is called Existence, and I was like, I'm putting it on. The Winged Seahorses. I'm doing it. So, yeah, we're going to enjoy it. Now, I can't, if it's really good, then I can't wait to wear this shirt just so I can say, yes, my shirt says the Winged Seahorses, and you have to deal with it. Because that's something that you kind of have to deal with Winged Seahorses. I appreciate the comedy aspect of it. I hope that it's like serious political punk rock. It's just, anyway, yeah, so the Winged Seahorses on the Soundcheck. They might just be my pick of the week just because they have the coolest name. That might be my favorite name of all time. Well, I don't know about that, but it's close. There's some good band names out there. This is one of them, for sure. So, my name is Moose. This is the Moose Pit Studio in Oklahoma City on the Soundcheck, and we're going to check out some Winged Seahorses, and then I'm guaranteed this will be 100% better with a bong. I'm just saying. Just throwing that out there. Here it goes.
This is the last fucking time.
And the Winged Seahorses. Well, those gentlemen are serious about what's going on right there, damn it. And you can tell by that name. This is serious, serious business. So here's my deal. I'm going to say the same thing to you that I said to the last gent, whatever the hell band. Man, you know, here's what I feel like when I listen to that. These kids are playing super complex riffs, and they're, I mean, it's just almost unbelievable what's going on. But I kind of want to hear you play, you know, a Van Halen song. You know, is that all you know how to do? It's just like they've programmed themselves to play this, you know, drop F crazy riffage, and then you're like, hey, so can you play like Sweet Child of Mine? And they're like, there's no feeling in it. And I'm challenging you, gent dudes, to play some solos, man. Obviously you've got some skill going on there with the guitar. Put some emotion in there. That's what it's missing to me. I mean, it was cool. I'd wear the shirt, you know, and the kids would love that. That's the goofy picking up pennies kind of music, those kind of kids. But it was cool. I mean, you know, it's hip. It's the in thing, but I'd wear the shirt, you know, because they're, you know, they're extreme and they're heavy, but yeah, I mean, it was okay. It was all right. You're good. I'm sure people are beating the crap out of each other at your shows. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, it was all right. Good for you guys. You're going to get laid a lot. So good for you. If you meet up with the other band with the sad eyeliner, if you guys have a concert together, it's going to be a bunch of like sad emo chicks and like angry degent dudes, and there's going to be some love blossoming. It'll be like the Breakfast Club. Yeah. So anyway, the young kids are completely clueless about what I just said. So coming up next is a band called Zilla, which if you're anything like me, makes you automatically think about Godzilla. The song is called Pragmatic Evolution, which sounds more genty kind of stuff. So, how do you describe your music? Well, it's genty. How about that? So, we're going to check it out. And Zilla, we'll find out what they're like. My name is Moose. This is the Soundcheck, where I talk about random songs that bands send in, and you listen, and you probably find some bands that you like, and probably find some bands you don't like, and then most definitely you go, this guy does not belong on the radio, because he's just out of his mind, and that's true, and I am, and that's what's fun about it, is you get to listen to me be goofy, and then we get to be friends, and you can text me, and I'll text you back. It's just like that. This world of technology, hands across the world, texting across the world. 424-666-7356. Coming up right now on the Soundcheck is a band called Zilla with Pragmatic Evolution. God, that sounds like a lesson, doesn't it? Chapter 7, Pragmatic Evolution. Get it done.
Hey, this is Fabulous Disaster from Germany, and you're listening to the Moon.
All right, so Zilla on the sound check. So, wow, man, that was awesome. That was, you know what it is kind of like a combination of Dark Throne Soulside Journey and Latter Day Immortal. I loved the guitar work, was fantastic. The first thing that popped in my head was guitar players are going to dig the hell out of this. Really, really good. I like what's going on there. Yeah, that was awesome. I'm a fan. Thrashy, blackened, black metal, but with a different tempo than most of your. It's not a blast beat. It had a good flow to it. The vocal was awesome. I love the guitar work. Really, really, really well done. And another thing, I like the bass tone. The bass tone was really good. You could hear it. It wasn't too crisp. It wasn't too muddy. That's just me, one of those musician things. Really, Zilla, I would damn well wear the shirt. Liked it a lot. So... yeah, this is the show. We'll release it here a little bit later, and I'll tell you my pick of the week. And I really seriously want you guys to send in your pick. What was your favorite band? And all it takes is a text. You know, you send 4,000 text messages a day. Send one to the Soundcheck and say, hey, I liked this band. Or, hey, Moose, you're a big fat dummy. Whatever you want to do. So right now there are a lot of people going, how do we win the Metalhead box? How do we win the Metalhead box? So what I want is I want on my text line, you can also text pictures. I want a picture, the most creative picture of the word Soundcheck written on your body or somebody else's body. No penises, please. I want it cool, written on your forehead, written on your back like a tattoo, written on your hand, written on your knuckles, something cool like a cool metal tattoo. The coolest picture I get. Text to me at 424-666-7356. We'll win the Metalhead box. So I will let the winner know by text once they send in their crazy picture. And I will also announce the winner on the next show. So, yeah, man, this has been a good time today. Blew through this pretty quick. Some awesome bands, some, not so good bands, but had an awesome time. I'll also announce my pick of the week. I say it every week. I say it every show. I'm going to say it again today. You wake up, you kick ass, you be kind, you repeat. It's what you do. It's how you treat each other. That's the way the Moose lives. That's, man, just smiling at somebody can really, really change their day. And when you change somebody's day, you can change the world. That's not a false statement. It's real, man. So just take care of each other. Keep listening to the show. Share it with all your friends on Facebook and Twitter. And you can find us on SoundCloud, on Spreaker, on iTunes, on YouTube, Stitcher Radio. I think we're on TuneIn as well. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. You can't miss it. So find us, listen to us, share it with your friends, have a good time. Listen, don't get in any trouble taking any pictures. It's not worth it. It's just me being goofy. It'd be fun, though. If somebody shaves Soundcheck in their head, that'd be awesome. Or if somebody shaves a moose head into their back hair, that would be pretty fun. Anyway, yeah, so the best picture wins the Metalhead box. I'm going to ship it right out to, and I mentioned earlier, it's going to be the Metalhead box plus a bunch of Moose stuff, like a Moose shirt and some stickers and guitar picks and some CDs and stuff. So it's going to be the Metalhead box plus. So it's going to be super cool. It'll be a box of metal. And, yeah, I might even throw an autographed sock in there. I haven't done that in a long time, but it's a possibility. We'll see what happens. It's the Moose. This has been Soundcheck. Hope you had a good time. Hope you found some bands that you dig. We do this twice a week, so like I said, lots of music, lots of fun, lots of good times, and just get those texts in. I know who my pick of the week is. Do you know who yours is? So I really do want those texts so we can. The bands really liked it. You know, when you take the time to text in, they appreciate that. So do I, man. Shows that you're listening, and I appreciate that. It's a big deal. This is the Moose coming to you from the Moose Pit Studios in Oklahoma City. www.themetalmoose.com or text in at 424-666-7356. I'd like to thank the Metalhead Box and also Blackcraft Cult and Tornado Tattoo and Zion Vape and everybody else. We'll see you next time on the Soundcheck.
All rights to the music heard on the Metal Moose are reserved by the authors, their labels, or authorized representatives that permitted their material to be used. The Metal Moose holds no rights to any music played on the show. Go to themetalmoose.com to submit your music to be heard on the show. Metal Moose accepts donations of money, Cheetos, bacon, and naked pictures. Thank you for tuning in and subscribe on iTunes. Rock out while you rack out and consider yourself moosed.